So I thought I'd show you how I built the scene that you're using from scratch so that you can do the same thing. So what I've done, I've just deleted everything out, and all I have here is just my model here and the materials for it and that Kelvin temperature material. And I'll show you how I got that. So let me just go ahead and delete that one out. That is a standard map, and make sure you're in Mental Ray, that you have the Mental Ray renderer turned on, and come down to Maps. Just scroll down, and let's see. You should see the. Actually, sorry, it might be a Mental Ray. Yep, there it is. It's not a. It's a Mental Ray map. So scroll down to it, and there's Kelvin temperature, and just click, hold, and drag it out into here. And to assign it to the light, what you'll want to do is create one for it. So what I'm going to do is come over to my Create tab. I'm going to go to my lights and the MR Sky Portal, the Mental Ray Sky Portal. Just going to click on that, and then come over to my viewport and just drag it out on the map here. Just make it, you can make it fairly big, and if you need to adjust its size, with it still selected, come to the Modify panel, and here's where we're going to adjust color and everything as well. So some things about lighting here. It's on. This is its multiplier, meaning how much it multiplies the lighting in the scene. The filter color, if you want to give it a slight color tint, you can use that. Its dimensions, so if you need to make it a little bigger, in fact I believe I do. I want to make it fairly big because I want some fairly diffuse shadows coming from this thing. And if you want to flip the light direction, you can turn that on here. If you need to see it in the scene, you can make it visible, and I do this sometimes when I want to see light. If I've set this thing, recessed it, say in a lighting panel or something, I want to be able to see it, so I'll turn that on. If it needs to have some transparency, then you can do that. And its color source, and I'm going to talk about, that's where the Kelvin temperature will be applied. It'll come in right here. And we'll copy it to this button and use it. Let's see, and let's expand its Mental Ray indirect illumination here. This is all just its, if I uncheck this, then I can do manual settings on it, but I'm going to leave that all set, and really there's nothing here that I need to worry about on it. Okay, but what I do need to do is move it up so that it's above the scene. So I'm going to move it, get it up, and let's see, let's take a look at it. I really just want this thing kind of pointing right down at the scene, so I'm going to move it up. Let's go maybe to our top view and see what we're getting. Yeah, it doesn't have to be directly centered on it, but somewhere in the scene we can see how that's going to do. I'm just going to leave it like that for right now. The next thing I'm going to do is put in a skylight. So you can do that two ways. The fastest way is just click on the skylight button from the script and drop it in. Otherwise, you can go to the Create tab, and instead of photometric lights, go to Standard, and then just pick the skylight. And you can put this anywhere in the scene. It does not matter. You don't have to move it. You don't have to aim it. You don't have to do anything with it. Just drop it in the scene, and it'll do the sky lighting. It could have stuff in front of it, and it's not going to matter. Once I've set that, let's give this thing a ground plane to work with. So again, from my Create tab, I'm going to go back to Geometry and Plane, and I'm just going to drag out a really large plane in here, and right click, and the default color may be that white. If it's something different, you can set it to white. I sometimes use one of these very light tans in there, but I'm just going to use white in this case. So I'm going to cancel out of that. Let's see, that all looks pretty good. And now let's now give this thing a bit of light from that Kelvin material. So hit the M key to bring that up. Let's double click on this to set it. Its intensity or its temperature is 6500. That's its default, which is pretty good. Its intensity is set to 1, but it may this may need to go up. We may turn that up, and we want to apply it to this sky portal. So let's make sure it's selected in the scene and go to the Modify tab and make sure the Advanced Parameters rollout is open. And you can see down here, make sure the color source is set to custom, and you see this little button over here. What we want to do is take the output node from that, drag it over to that button, and let go. And it's going to ask whether we want an instance or a copy. In this case, we definitely want an instance, because what we're going to do is any changes we make here in the material editor will update to this instance of it. Now we can double click on that, and let's just call it our sky portal Kelvin. And let's close that. And again, we may need to run the intensity up on it. Let's just see what we're going to get here. I'm just going to pick one of these so I can rotate around it, just get a good view in this. And override. Well, let's go back to our setup, because I don't really need to be saving the file. So I'm going to uncheck Save the File, and now I can just press Render, and it's not going to try to overwrite. Yeah, you can see it's pretty dim, so it's not. It's not getting us what we need. So let's cancel out of that. Bring up the material editor, and I think I had it set at 30. So let's take that up to 30. You can adjust it up and down depending on what intensity of lighting you want to occur in there. Let's see, and so that's in fact, let me just leave that open and let's press Render again and see what we're getting. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so let's cancel out of that. Let's see, what might be the next thing to. Let's talk about how the skylight works in this scene. So let me zoom out, and I'm going to turn that off for a moment, so you'll see some of what's happening with it. Start a render on that. You're not going to get as nice a global illumination as you're going to get with the skylight on. You can see things are fairly dark down here. The sky portal does a pretty good job, but what the skylight does is it just projects light at this thing from every direction, and it creates a little bit of ambient occlusion lighting, especially for where things touch. So I'm going to turn that back on and leave it as is. And really, this is all we'll need, other than maybe making an environment for this thing. Because right now, I think it's just got whatever I had the color set to. I think this default is black, but you can change it to whatever you want. And I still have my settings from the colors. I've boosted the color saturation up a little bit. But other than that, this thing is pretty much the same. So making a little bit of a backdrop for this. You could do that same method I did in the previous video. I didn't really like the way that corner was doing on there. So another method for doing this is to use something like a cylinder with some beveling on it, or sometimes you can kind of flatten a sphere, but most times some sort of edged backdrop works okay with some chamfering. Let's see, so what we could do here, let's go ahead and delete that and come back to this. Let's get a cylinder on there, and I'm just going to draw it out pretty big, let it go up, and then come to the Modify tab, and you can specify the size or number of sides. Let's take this number of sides up to, let's try 32 on that. Yeah, that looks fine. And I'm not worried about these height segment or cap segments. I'm just worried about the height segments. So I'm just going to right click and take those down to 0. And then I'm just going to right click on it and convert it to an editable poly. We'll go to the polygon mode here, select the top, delete that. So now we can kind of look down in there on this thing. Let's get rid of some of these sides out here, because I just want to look in there on this thing. Actually, before I do that, let's bevel this edge down here, and we'll press G to hide the grid. And I'm going to go to edge mode, and let's see. I'm going to drag a fence around that, and that. If you're in crossing mode, it's going to get those as well. But you can hold down the Alt key and just cross over those, and that'll get rid of them. That should just be that edge. Yeah, and now I can do my chamfering. So let's bring up our settings and make the size, say about right in there, and then the number, run it up to it looks fairly soft. That looks okay. I'm going to say OK. And again, I'm going to have to go to polygon mode and Control A, and I need to flip these too, because they're all facing out. They won't render. But I'll just do auto smooth, and then while I still have them all selected, come to flip and click that, and they should all now be inside like that. And so let's get rid of a few of these so we can kind of look in on this thing. Is that pretty much the direction I want to look at this thing? Yeah, that's fine. Just delete those. And now I can get down in on this thing. Press the Z key to get zoomed in on something. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Now, if I need to, I can rotate around, and if I need a side view of this thing without getting any of the background in there. Now let's render that. Yeah, and that's looking pretty good. If you're getting it a little too much speckling in there, let's cancel the render. Let's bring up the render settings, and what you can do is under the renderer, actually it's easier to just start a rendering. Yeah, and then while that's going, let's go ahead and cancel it while this is still available. Bring that up, and you can see the image precision and final gather precision. Right now they're, I'm set at low, so I could try dragging that up to medium and drag that up out of draft maybe to medium. And if your reflections are looking bad, then you can pull those up as well. But just understand that when you press render again, it's going to take a lot longer to render these based on whatever changes you make to your settings. So you'll be prepared to, you're going to get better quality, but it's going to take a little more time to render, or in some cases a lot more time to render. So I'm going to close that out and cancel that, and pick up in the next video.